should have trusted my gut the moment I saw his smile. It wasn't the kind of smile that made you feel safe. It was the kind that made you question if you'd regret swiping right. But loneliness is a cruel thing, and that night, loneliness won. I had no idea that decision would follow me like a shadow I'd never escape. His name was Ethan. At least, that's what he told me. His profile was simple: a few artsy photos, a quote about living life without fear, and a picture of him holding a coffee cup in the rain. He looked normal, maybe even charming. Our conversation was easy, smooth, almost too smooth, now that I think about it. He knew exactly what to say, almost like he had rehearsed the lines 1,000 times. He listened when I spoke, complimented me without overdoing it, and asked questions that made me feel interesting. For once, I thought I had met someone genuine. We agreed to meet the following Friday. He insisted on picking me up, but I said no. My friends always warned me about that. So, we agreed to meet at a small café downtown. I still remember the smell of roasted coffee beans and cinnamon as I walked in, nervously scanning the room until I saw him. He was already there, waiting. His hair was slicked back, his jacket perfectly fitted, and his eyes, God, his eyes, locked onto mine like I was prey, and he was starving. At first, the date was fine. He was funny, engaging, and even a little shy when he talked about his childhood. But the more he spoke, the more something inside me screamed that something wasn't right. His stories were vague. His job details kept changing. And when I asked about family, his smile twitched. He said they were in the picture anymore, and quickly changed the subject. Still, I brushed it off. People had complicated pasts, I told myself. But then came the moment that set everything into motion. As we were leaving the cafe, he leaned in close and whispered, "I feel like I already know everything about you." I laughed nervously. We just met. He smiled, too wide this time, and said, "No, I mean, I really know you." The way he said it sent chills racing down my spine. I told myself it was just a weird joke. But later that night, when I got home, I found a notification. He had followed me on Instagram, then on Twitter, then Facebook, accounts I hadn't even mentioned to him. My stomach dropped. At first, I thought maybe I'd used the same profile picture somewhere, and he found me that way. But when I noticed he had liked an old family photo from when I was 15, I knew this wasn't normal. He had gone deep, too deep. I decided to stop responding. I told myself ghosting him was the safest option. But that's when the real nightmare began. For days, I noticed strange things. My front door mat was slightly moved, though I hadn't left the house. My bedroom window, which I swore I had locked, was cracked open in the morning. And once, when I came home late, I found a small folded note under my pillow that read, "You look beautiful when you sleep." I wanted to believe I was imagining things. I wanted to believe it was paranoia. But deep down, I knew Ethan was watching me. He was inside my life in ways I couldn't see. One night, I woke up to the sound of footsteps. slow, deliberate, coming from the living room. My heart raced as I grabbed my phone, ready to dial 911. But when I crept out of bed and looked, the apartment was empty. The only thing I found was a single red rose placed neatly on the counter. My door had still been locked. That was the moment I knew he had a key. I couldn't stay there anymore. I called the police, but without solid evidence, they said there was nothing they could do. They told me to stay safe and suggested changing the locks. I felt helpless, so I moved. I packed everything in 1 week and left the city thinking distance would keep me safe. For a while, it worked. Months went by, and I started to breathe again. I even began to convince myself it had all been an elaborate, terrifying phase, that maybe he had gotten bored and moved on. But then, one morning, I received a message on my new phone. No number, just a text. You can run, but you'll never be hard to find. You're mine, and I'll always be watching. My blood turned cold. I hadn't told anyone where I moved, not even my closest friends. Yet somehow he knew. From that day forward, I lived in fear. Every creak of the floor, every knock at the door, every flicker of shadows outside my window, I wondered if it was him. I started therapy, trying to reclaim my life, but the paranoia clung to me like smoke. It's been years now,